What's up, everybody? Rex Streamwave, and today is probably going to be the last video I will probably be doing for this month up until it's past Christmas, since it's Christmas Eve. But I just wanted to tell you that a little video from, if you're a Skylander fan, that you must have heard of the recent YouTuber known as Brent Walker, who is also affiliated with Jeffrey Walters Jr. and Isabella Walters and Teresa Walters. T.H. Teresa. But, when it comes to these people, they made up a new chapter for Skylanders: A New Beginning, Chapter 1, and I'm a little upset with it, but I'm at least happy that Spyro's going to finally be able to find out who his ancestors are. I mean, he meets Spark. Should be Sparks, not Spark. They should fix that. It's Sparks with an X. That's what I remember. And let me exactly tell you how I saw what happened in this little chapter I saw. I mean, I saw the skies of Skylands, saw Spyro appear, and he did exactly what he did during the Netflix series of Skylanders Academy. The opening Netflix series animation intro, and then actually doing that. And of course, it was like it was literally a little fourth wall break when he made those clouds. But of course, he was scolded by the spectral form of Eon's head. And so what happens to them? They basically still travel until they found a little hole where Spyro has to go through a portal. Of course, he screams because it's like sort of like a light year thing, like you're traveling so fast. And he ends up in the new world. But while he's doing that, his fellow Skylander buddies are also there. Well, but judging by how it was going, like how Hex and Skull and Cinder were going up against Stealth Elf and Callie, like a training exercise, which of course I knew from the start was a training exercise, they weren't evil. But I was surprised that Callie hit Cinder with a sword. I guess they made it so that all dragons had that specific ability. I mean, granted, Spyro's species was the only one mentioned to have super tough scales, but then again, I guess all dragons have tough scales when it comes to swords, axes, spears, maces, and hammers. Well, probably those spiked hammers, or spiked flails, daggers and knives, tone fuzz. I'm trying to think what else was there that they would use. I mean, it's obvious they could also be, well, I guess dragon teeth wouldn't matter, because dragon scales can't really be impenetrated. I mean, sure, they'll get the blunt force of it, like Cinder did, but luckily, she was the distraction. Same with Hex and Skull, as Hex created some little field that blasted both Stealth Elf and Callie, and unintentionally Cinder. But then afterwards, Cinder goes out of the training halls and tries to find Spyro using her psychic telekinesis, just like the show. But of course, she couldn't find him. Almost like she was worried for some odd reason. Almost like she secretly had a crush on him and was worried about him, and that no other Skylander knew. But of course, Stealth Elf came and tried to ask her if she could find him, but she didn't come in. Then, of course, Spyro meets up with Spark. I mean, when he finally enters the realm of Avalar, which actually had that little thing where the word Avalar came up right after Spyro asked the dragonfly he saved, called Avalar in white letters, all caps. And of course, I'm surprised. I mean, Skylanders, don't mind that. Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure, Giants, Swap Force, Trap Team, Superchargers, and last one on Imagineers, along with the 3 seasons of Skylanders Academy. Literally all those 3 seasons of Netflix and all those 6 Skylander games. There was never a cuss word involved. And that's hell. But then again, I guess they needed to get the spirit of David Spade in. But then again, not even David Spade cussed in that cartoon, like as Kuzco, as the main character Kuzco from Emperor's New Groove from Disney. Honestly, would love to see a sequel from that. That's not one of the greatest movies. Granted, I was always focused on Kuzco because when I was young, I didn't have that mindset. I now have exactly what I saw with him. I saw that he was nothing more than a selfish prick. He would never, he didn't even care if there was a village of peaceful, villagers, and they were led by Pacha. And Pacha was basically the spiritual and emotional and physical leader of that village, always caring for his people. But Kuzco was becoming a threat to that village because of the fact that he wanted to remove that poor village with a stupid flippin' water slide. What? Wow, Kuzco. But anywho, back to the Skylanders thing. Back to taking a break from Spyro's side, then we go back to Cinder's side, which of course also had Jetvac playing chess with Hugo and Callie. But then here's something else. Right after Cinder and Stealth Elf left, feeling like because Cinder couldn't find Spyro because she didn't know where Spyro was, Dark Spyro was revealed. Like, somehow he survived. There has to be something. He had to have survived something. I mean, in the show, he died. We all know he died. But I actually saw on Thin Fiction that, I didn't read it, but I did see the description saying that he was sent to a new world to redeem himself. And that was Oniville. But he came walking, sneaking through all the Skylanders, literally. Even Jetvac was exactly like he was in the show, because he was being like that super hard thinking eagle that he was. Or is, because he did that, like in that episode where he couldn't act on impulse and always thought so hard of what to do. And Dark Spyro being so black and stuff. I'm not being racist about that. I mean, like, literally the color black, not brown, black scales and silver. He walked or flew or hopped past those 3. Callie sort of felt something, but she couldn't really picture. And Dark Spyro, whose room does he go into? We saw the trailers that Jeffrey Walters mentioned. It was Cinder. She was sleeping peacefully, but then I was like, like, what was he going to do? Like, he was literally using his dark essence, and then while Cinder was sleeping peacefully, he left a little image in her brain. Like, as she was sleeping, she had a nightmare. A forced nightmare from the outside of her mind, and now into her mind. And I'm guessing in a way he put some sort of spiritual essence into her. And if you have remembered that video where I made why I hate that stupid MLP comic where they had Twilight possessed by an ex-fiance for Discord for 4 flippin' issues. Honestly, Twilight should be... I mean, how do they even get medals? How did Twilight, Cadence, Zakora, and Big Mac get medals when they were... the 4 of them were possessed by Cosmos? That doesn't make sense. The only ones who get the medals were the Cutie Mark Crusaders, Capper, the main 5, Spike, and a few others. Heck, even Discord. And now Cinder is probably going to have that same problem next chapter. But then again, it should have been obvious. A new beginning in Skylanders is basically the same as the Legend of Spyro. A new beginning. And that is how we'll be seeing poor Cinder. Because just like the first game of the trilogy that then led up to Skylands, Spyro will have to face off Cinder. But what I'm hoping, please, I'm hoping that when this new monstrous form of Cinder, hopefully, actually, I'll get back to that part. So, after she wakes up, Stealth Elf reveals that she wants to help Cinder on her journey to help find Spyro. And Callie helps as well. And when Stealth Elf leaves Cinder to her room, Cinder's eyes, she starts to get to have a little serious glare, but then the serious glare open up with white eyes. Like literally pure white. Like there was no slit, no iris slit. No pupil slit and no iris color. It was just plain old white with a smaller white circle in there. And I hope but I know this from the video game, that Cinder is a pawn. While yes, she was the main villain, but she's also the pawn, because the main antagonist throughout the whole trilogy was Malefor, followed up with Gao, who was defeated in the second game, who was also the one who spread the influence of Malefor into Cinder. And when it comes to the poor Cinder, I just hope... Well, let me at least finish how it goes. Spyro then has to hide along with Sparks against another dragon. Then, of course, when Sparks said that there were billions of dragons there in the Avalar, he was like, say what now? Like, and scared, spooked, basically almost scared the living soul out of Sparks. And he was basically mad and told him to warn him next time. Which, of course, Spyro said sorry. And then there was a pirate ship involved, too. And he even mentioned Ignitus, who was purple. Apparently, I think he is actually Spyro's father in this universe. Like, Cinder is the daughter of Malefor. I'm also surprised that Malefor was in there. Well, then, again, it should have been obvious. But it didn't look exactly like how it was in the trailer. Because it showed... Well, I'm guessing that's going to be later on. I wonder if they'll bring in Wolfgang. Or Pop Fizz. Eruptor. I mean, they should have been brought in. Not to mention Bad Breath. Kaboom. Or... Who knows? I don't even know if Psy will be involved. But it should also have Roller Brawl and Chill as well. And Food Fight. And when it comes... And then it actually revealed an old friend of Spyro from the 1990s form of Spyro. Like, those specific tiny Spyro ones. Like, where he goes up against a dragon named Red, who's literally a red-scale dragon. A red-scale dragon sorcerer. And he meets Flame, another red, but yellow rather than what purple, horned and spiked red, but Flame is involved. He glows up at the end, and of course that's how the show ends, the video ends. But I'm hoping that Cinder, in her monster self, I hope Spyro basically tells this to Cinder when when she's pinned by her giant paw. I'm hoping he says this: Cinder, please, I don't want to fight you. I know this ain't your fault. I know this ain't your fault. But you have to fight it. Please. I remember, and here's why I won't fight you, because even though you're born of evil, and here's how I know you're not, it's not your fault. And here's how I know it's not your fault. Because when I told you exactly that even if you're born evil doesn't make it evil. And it was you who showed that to me. And please, I don't want to, please, you have to break free. I don't want to fight you. Please, Cinder. I love you. And then, of course, Cinder's eyes, like, she tries to, like, to a wall or something, or even to the ground. She basically would probably miss intentionally so that she can reveal that she was trying to fight for her body again. Well, though, and then going slowly reverting back down to her regular innocent self. In fact, she's basically innocent even if she is possessed. She's just a victim. She didn't want this. But the Dark Force is basically showing this, and I think that's what the Dark Entity is doing to her. Sent Dark Spyro, or D-Spyro, into Skylanders Academy to put this image into thinking that she would have to find some sort of power to save Spyro. But what if, in that memory, I'm hoping that's just what they projected into her mind, but I hope it doesn't actually become a vision. Some visions are not even real. Like, they're fake, implanted, falsely advertised. And I really want to see Cinder be free more than evil. And maybe a little kiss to assure her that Spyro would never, ever hate her. Because it's kind of weird how Cinder is sort of missing him. Almost like while in some of the episodes, like the backgrounds, like behind the scenes, Spyro and Cinder were falling in love. I mean, then again, that's basically all Spider or Sinrose or Cyros. No, that's Psy, the banana guy, when you say it like that. Just Spider with a Y, no I. Spiders. But anywho, I hope you all enjoyed, and I can't wait to see the next chapters. Hopefully it doesn't take longer, and maybe we'll be able to see it somewhere around February or around March. And then again, there's going to be Kung Fu Panda 4. Can't wait to see that. And there might be a possibility that Tai Lung may work with Po, then fight him. But he'll probably betray or something. I mean, he was brought back from the spirit realm after all. But anywho, I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to see more of the Skylanders Academy, and I'll probably be playing a few bits of games, either Brawlhalla, Disney Speedstorm, Smite, Fortnite, Brawlhalla, Smite, Fortnite, or even Disney Speedstorm. I just want poor Cinder to be okay. So I'm praying that she gets free. And I hope she's not going to try to be evil throughout the other parts. But I mean, yeah, she did get that one chance. But usually in those certain parts, they aren't really fully controlled by the entity until later on. Like, they're just trying to... It's sort of like every part in that thing. Like, the Michael Jackson music video, where he still has that yellow eye, like he turns us into some werecat creature. There's a few others, really. And honestly, I can't wait to see what's going to happen between Spyro's side or Cinder's side. And I would love to see them get together and maybe marry. Because that's obviously how they need to go. Everyone loves that ship. But anywho, I hope you all enjoy, and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye!